Prediction time. Blazers play 3 games between now and when we meet again, all on the road against Eastern Conference teams. First up, the Raptors, who are 34-15. That game is on Friday. Then they'll take on Boston, who's 37-15, on Sunday. The Blazers finish the road trip at Detroit on Monday. How do you guys see this going down?
Well, I want the guy who's now leading the pack here to go first.
Set the tone on this one,
Jared, you've been trailing like all year, and now you're on top, and we're looking up at you.
I made my comeback by being overly optimistic, so you'd think I'd stay that way, but I didn't.
Oh.
These are tough games, and I think if they went 0-3, you'd feel it after this road trip. I mean, that would, but this is a tough road trip.
Without
you
a
could
doubt.
see them going 0-3, and it wouldn't be a big surprise. So I don't have them going 0-3, but they're not going to beat the Raptors in my mind. The Raptors are really, really good. They're ranked 4th in offense, 3rd in defense. This is the second game of a road-to-home back-to-back for the Raptors, so they might be a little bit tired, but I just think right now they're a better team than the Blazers. They do it on both ends of the court, as well as anyone. So Raptors win that game. I have them actually beating the Celtics because I'm not sure if Kyrie Irving's going to play. He's dealing with a quad thing. Mm-hmm. He might be back. He might not. They don't have Marcus Smart. And the Celtics were really weird last month. They were ranked dead last in offense and number 1 in defense. So I think this has the makings of a really ugly, just kind of brutal game. But I think that I'm going to pick the Blazers just because it's a toss-up in my mind. You made a really good point about the time and the tip-off of that game. It is an early tip-off, and so that I didn't think about that until I read your point, and so I'll let you talk about that a little bit later, but that gave me some pause. And then I actually think they're going to lose to the Pistons because it's the second game of a back-to-back for the Blazers, and the Pistons will be rested. And I think that Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, I think that's a tough matchup for the Blazers and their front court. And so I think that because I'm picking them to beat the Celtics, they're going to be coming off that high, but they're probably going to have to do everything they can to win that game. Then I'm picking them to turn around and lose to the Pistons the next night. So you'll kind of be down a little bit after the Raptors loss, on a big high after the Celtics win, and then come crashing back to the Pistons game. Yeah.
I picked them to go 1-2 also, but different than you. Yeah. I probably went the more traditional route and picked them to lose to the Raptors and Celtics, but beat the Pistons.
Yeah.
Yep. You made great points about the Raptors. They are a complete team, as put it. And the Blazers, when they played them earlier this year, granted, Blazers offense in October is different than the Blazers offense we're seeing now, but the Raptors still held them to 6 points in a quarter.
Yeah.
It's a really good team over there. DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry.
I'm trying to forget all about that, man. You bring that up.
And DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry tend to play well against the Blazers as well. That game, the Raptors didn't have Valanciunas or Ibaka either. That's just a really good team, and so I'm with Jared on that. I think the Raptors. I think of the 3 games, I think that one's the one that's the Blazers. That's not close. I think the Raptors win that one fairly handily. The Celtics game, I think, will be close. And you're right, the Celtics have been worse. They had a 4-game losing streak in the middle of the month, and some of them were to bad teams.
What are they, 5-5 or 6-4 in their last 10, something like that?
They've won 3 of their last 4.
3-3 at home in the month. Yeah. Yes.
In their last 8, they are 3-5, the Celtics.
There you go.
There you go, Matt.
Including losses to the Lakers and the Magic.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Oh, there's
so
definitely.
You're saying I'm really smart.
Yeah. There's definitely a chance. I'm going to say you're really dumb.
Oh, okay. All right. Fighting words, trying to take me down from my perch at the top.
Yeah. We're aiming
We're trying
for you now, man. You went from the hunter to the hunted. So.
I know. I don't like it.
So I think the Celtics,
I've never seen Max give me a rap so hard.
He's like, nobody cares about your picks. Move on.
Quickly. Celtics, best defense in the league. I think that ends up getting it done against the Blazers. And the Pistons, yes, they have Blake Griffin, and they are the Pelicans now of the Eastern Conference, which the Blazers have struggled against the Pelicans in the West because of those 2 big men matchup. But the Pistons were playing terrible.
Yeah, they were.
Granted, they beat the Cavs since after the trade.
That game was rough to watch, by the way.
But they're 2-11 in their previous 13 before the trade. They had an 8-game losing streak. So they're playing terrible.
I know.
And Blazers have actually been good on back-to-backs this year. I think it's going to take some time for Griffin to gel with that roster. I'm going Blazers.
Me and you see eye to eye on this. I took the more conventional route also, going 1-2
No.
It's that type of week. To add to your guys' point, the Raptors just basically own the Blazers at this point, courtesy of the game notes from the Trailblazers. The last time the Blazers beat the Raptors, March 15th, 2015.
Oh my.
That is a 5-game win streak.
I don't think either of you were here in Portland.
No. So I mean that tells you kind of the history as of late between the Blazers and Raptors. So I'm not expecting that streak to end right now. So add one more to the streak. I do think that Celtics game is intriguing for so many reasons. As you mentioned, it's Super Bowl Sunday that they have to play on. It's a 9:00 a.m. Pacific time tip-off. It's just a funky time to hoop, but it is intriguing. I did actually think about this game as well. I could see the Blazers scoring the upset, but that is the top team in the East, and to your point, they D it up.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the Blake Griffin factor will be in effect the way it was with the Clippers. Usually he has big games, as we talked about last week, while he was still a member of the Clippers. So, I think the Blazers end this road trip on a positive note and come home with a win over Detroit.
Jared mentioned if they go 0-3 that, it's something you could see. Well, it's something you could see happening. If they went 0-3, man.
That's a buzzkill, man.
That is an absolute buzzkill. And if they would go 1-2, I think the fan base would go, and depending on how they are in those other two games, they'd go, okay, it would have been nice to go get a win, to have a winning road trip, but I understand. But if they go 2-1 or 3-0 on this road trip, we're talking about something else next week.
2-1 is a success.
Absolutely.